Welcome to the 67th annual observance of Memorial Day, brought to you by the Freedom Committee of Orange County, a veterans organization, Dignity Memorial, and the Stanley W. Ekstrom Foundation. In 2019, our Memorial Day ceremony was witnessed by an estimated audience of 1,500. The Marine Corps band played and adjourned with a missing man flyover. And we provided a lunch for 1,000 veterans and their families. Hopes were high that we would have an in-person audience in 2021, but the order not to assemble continued even though the event was outdoors. The do not assembly order continued in place, but it did not absolve our sacred obligation to observe Memorial Day 2021, to honor and remember every soldier, Marine, sailor, airman, and Coast Guard member, regardless of how heroic their final moments. By this video of the 2021 Memorial Day ceremony, we fulfill our duty to honor the sacrifices of the fallen by this ceremony, by our salute, by our posting our national colors, by our laying of wreaths, by our respect and gratitude, and our prayers for the fallen and their families. The video of the ceremony will be posted at the Freedom Committee website and the Dignity Memorial website. I'd like to introduce today's Master of Ceremony, Major Alan Harvard, United States Army, retired. Major Harvard had a 22-year career in the Army. He enlisted as a private and completed his service as a major. In 1965, he was commissioned as a field artillery officer with a specialty in air defense. As a captain, Major Harvard served in Cu Chi 3 Corps, Vietnam, as a commanding officer of the 25th Infantry Division Replacement Company. His decorations include Bronze Star Medal, 3 awards, Meritorious Service Medal, Army Commendation Medal, and four awards, Good Conduct Medals, 2 awards. Major Al Harvard, our Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Scott. I will be announcing the flags and the wreath carriers and their service accomplishments. The procession of flags, which follows a traditional opening of many military events. Each of our military services has its own flag, and 2 are here added for special recognition. The United States Army. Captain Timothy Richards, U.S. Army, retired. Army Parachute Badge. Vietnam decorations include the Bronze Star, Army Commendation with Oak Leaf Cluster, Army Achievement with Oak Leaf Cluster, Good Conduct Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 4 stars, Vietnam Civil Action Ribbon with 1st class, and the National Defense Medal with Star. United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Victor Rial, USMC, Korean War period. Decorations include the National Defense Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Sharpshooter. Sergeant Rial deployed to Hawaii as an infantryman with the 4th Marines and the 3rd Marine Division. He later volunteered for aviation and was trained and qualified as a helicopter mechanic and designated as crew chief for the Presidential Helicopter Service in 58 and 59. He was responsible for the maintenance and readiness of President Dwight D. Eisenhower's 4 H-34 helicopters, call sign Marine One. United States Navy. Senior Chief Petty Officer Gary Teagle, U.S. Navy, retired. Operation Iraqi Freedom. Decorations include Navy Commendation Medal, Navy Achievement Medal, 3 awards, Surface Warfare Specialist Badge, Army Achievement Medal, and Army Unit Commendation. In Iraq, Senior Chief was working with the Army on air base near Balad, which is in central Iraq. He served on 9 ships, cruisers, frigates, and amphibious types during 27 years of active duty. United States Air Force. Colonel Wayne Scott, July of 76 to October 2005. His decorations include Legion of Merit, Meritorious Service Medal, Air Force Commendation Medal, Air Force Achievement Medal, Air Force Outstanding Unit Award, Air Force Organizational Excellence Award, Combat Readiness Medal, National Defense Medal, and Kosovo Campaign Medal. Air Force Overseas Long Tour Ribbon, and Air Force Longevity Service Ribbon, and Air Force Training Ribbon. Coast Guard. Specialist 5, Mark Flannery. U.S. Army Vietnam decorations include the Bronze Star Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal with 4 stars. Specialist Flannery served as a senior communications specialist for the 1st Battalion Air Mobile, 502nd Brigade of the 101st Airborne Division. From July 69 to 70, he established and maintained communications to all battalions and combat units and their new fire bases. He was engaged the enemy throughout I Corps, from Ashaw Valley to Tam Kee. Prisoner of War and Missing in Action. First Lieutenant Kirby Matter, U.S. Army Vietnam. Decorations include the Silver Star Medal, the Purple Heart Medal, Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Medal, Vietnam Service, and Campaign Medals. Lieutenant Matter served as an infantry weapons platoon leader in Vietnam from mid-65 to mid-66 with the 2nd of the 28th Infantry Regiment. He was wounded and hospitalized, and after being returned to duty, he served as the S-3 Operations Officer in war zones Charlie and Delta. These are north of Saigon, and in mid-67, with the 4th Transportation Command, he was the executive officer over the Saigon port facilities. Pearl Harbor. Specialist 4th Class Army Carol Singleton, U.S. Army Signal Corps, 1983 to 86. She served in Darmstadt, Germany, as a combat telecommunications center operator, then at Camp Parks Reserve Forces training area in Dublin, California. Awarded a Good Conduct Medal and Army Service Ribbon, and M16 Expert Badge. Currently, Ms. Singleton serves as the supervisor of Heroes Hall, the museum at the OC Fair and Events Center in Costa Mesa. The museum is dedicated to telling stories of military veterans. Host the colors. Traditionally, the flag is risen only to half staff on Memorial Day. And then at noon, it's brought back up to full staff for the rest of the day. During this time, we will be listening to Gold Star daughter Jeanette Chevrolet, who is a soloist and the daughter of her father, who was lost in action in Vietnam. She'll be singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi, I'm Frank Pangborn. I was a first lieutenant in the Army in Vietnam, and we are privileged to have Troop 711 and Pack 711, Den 2, and they're right here with us on the stage here. And we're going to have Liam Wells of Den 2. He's a Webelow, and he is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you very much, Liam and Troop and Pack 711. We're very happy to have you here with us today. You are our future, you know. You are our future. And we're, as Jack Hammett used to say, please take care of my country. And he was a founder of the Freedom Committee of Orange County. And he always used to say that. So I'm going to say it to you again. Please take care of our country. And I know you will. Right now, I'd like to give the invocation. So please bow your heads. Our dear Heavenly Father, creator of heaven and earth, welcome. We come to you today in humble admiration for your grace and loving kindness. It couldn't be said better than what David said in Psalm 8:1. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy glory above the heavens. We thank you for each and every day we are able to be granted another day to live in this beautiful country with its streams, rivers, lakes, and ocean fronts, with its mountains and beautiful desert sunsets. David also said in Psalm 8:3, when I consider the heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained. We're absolutely thankful for the opportunity to live in a great country that is free. That is why we are today here able to conduct a Memorial Day ceremony to honor those who lost their lives fighting for our freedom on the battlefields. Each and every day we get up and should look forward to the blessings of a new day before us. We veterans know better than most that we are not guaranteed to live another day. While in the jungles of Vietnam, I carried the words close to my heart of your psalmist David in Psalm 23:4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. In war, every day that we survive is a blessing in and of itself. But for many, that day didn't come, and that soldier, that sailor, that Marine, that airman, that Coast Guardsman were taken from us in a brief second of time. No greater love hath man than to lay down his life for his friends. They sacrificed for our freedom, and their families, loved ones, and friends are left with their memories. Please, Father, bless and comfort Gold Star mothers, Gold Star families, and their loved ones. Help us to honor and remember these courageous men and women who gave their lives for our country. I pray that we will see them again someday on those streets of gold in the new heaven and earth.
In the Bible, in Revelation chapter 21, it says, "He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away." Thank you, precious Lord, for your promises and your Son, Jesus Christ's sacrifice on the cross for our salvation. Life is fleeting like a passing mist. It is like trying to catch hold of a breath. All vanishes like a vapor. We all due in time must go the way of those who came before us. I pray that we will be ready for that day in the final judgment. Lord, you taught us how to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the glory and the power and the glory forever. Amen. God bless America, our troops, and those who gave so much for our freedom.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to speak on Memorial Day on behalf of the Freedom Committee of Orange County. This is a day of solemn remembrance for those who sacrificed so much for the blessings we enjoy today. You know, our country has marked this day for 153 years, since 1868. It was in that year that the nation first celebrated an observance of Memorial Day in what is now Arlington National Cemetery. Though it's one of our oldest annual traditions, it's probably the least understood. You know, we have Armed Forces Day, where we honor those in uniform. That was started in 1948, so it's a relatively modern commemoration. Veterans Day honors all those who served in war and peace. It's only been around since it's 1954. For whatever reason, Americans have a hard time understanding what Memorial Day is all about. The latest Gallup poll I saw showed only 28% of Americans fully understood the meaning of Memorial Day. Many respondents to that poll thought it meant the first day of summer or the opening of the swimming pools. We veterans, members of the Freedom Committee of Orange County, have as our mission to pass the torch of freedom to the next generation. And as living history speakers, we do our best to convey to our young people the traditions and values of patriotism. Looks like we have our job cut out for us as far as Memorial Day is concerned. But I know a place in Eastern Europe where they have no problem passing on the honor and remembrance. After I retired from the Air Force, I was on a civilian tourist tour of Eastern Europe. And on board a train in the Czech Republic, we passed through the town of Pilsen, P-I-L-Z-E-N, sometimes spelled P-I-L-S-E-N. Anyhow, our tour guide said that this town was famous, among other things, for originating Pilsner beer. We didn't stop there, and that disappointed a lot of the beer drinkers, but as we passed through, I noticed something rather strange. From every balcony and every lamppost, there was an American flag flying. The place looked like Huntington Beach on the 4th of July. I did some research when I got home. Here's what I found out. Every 5th year on the 6th of May, the town celebrates its liberation in World War II from the Nazis by General Patton's Third Army. It was on that day, May 6, 1945, that the town was free from Nazi occupation. So every 5th year then, a large parade takes place in Pilsen. And Czech people come from all over and they're waving American flags. The parade terminates in the town square where there's a huge monument. And on that monument, in the center of the town, 3 words in English: "Thank you, America." In the nearby American military cemetery, every Czech student in the 5th grade each year is assigned an American soldier's grave. That grave is a student's responsibility for a year. They take care of the grave and they send letters and photos to the family and the descendants of that fallen hero. Just last year, during the COVID virus crisis, we sent some American soldiers into Pilsen. And the young children lined up for autographs. The U.S. soldiers were treated like rock stars. They didn't know what to make of it. Czech families invited them into their dinner. In a nearby forest, there's a monument to Lieutenant Virgil P. Kirkham. Who was Virgil P. Kirkham? He was the last recorded death in World War II of a U.S. Army Air Force pilot. He was a 20-year-old P-47 Thunderbird pilot. The war was almost over. He had 82 combat missions, and they said, we need one more mission, and he volunteered for it, and he didn't make it back. He crashed in this forest. And a Czech schoolgirl who lived nearby was so moved by his sacrifice that she vowed to take care of his memory. For 65 years, well in her 70s, she continued to care for the memorial at the crash site. So for 3 generations, these people have passed on their love and gratitude for America. Now, I don't know about you, but it's a little disconcerting to me when I see more patriotism and love for America in a foreign country than I sometimes see in America. We just have a tendency to take things for granted. Our freedom, our wealth, our strength, and our military protecting us. I know in my neighborhood we have 24 homes. I can only count on about 2 on any national holiday to display the American flag. Putting memorial back in Memorial Day is a real challenge. The U.S. Congress gave it a try back in 2000. They passed a resolution called the National Moment of Remembrance, urging all Americans to voluntarily, informally, wherever they were at 3 p.m. on Memorial Day, to do a moment of silence in gratitude for the soldiers who died in defense of our country. I don't think that tradition got very far. In any event, today in America, we're a divided nation, still in the throes of a pandemic. But surely we can unite at this time to remember those loved ones, our neighbors, our friends, who have given the ultimate sacrifice. I know that for our Gold Star families, those that have lost a loved one in any of our wars, every day is Memorial Day to them. I'll finish with a quote from Abraham Lincoln. He knew all about passing the torch of freedom, even before we had a Memorial Day. Here's what he said, I quote, "A nation that does not honor the heroes will not long endure." I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you.
We're about to lay the wreaths. These wreaths are presented in recognition of the veterans of the United States Armed Forces who gave their lives to the service in their country. First is Marie Simpson. Again, this Gold Star family wreath to honor 2 members of their family who have died in combat and on behalf of the families who have lost loved ones in our country. She's being escorted by Corporal Dwayne Hanson, United States Marine Corps. The Army Wreath. Specialist 4th Class Danny Byrne, United States Army. Decorations include Vietnam Service Medal, National Defense Medal, Good Conduct Medal. Theater Operations South Vietnam Mekong Delta with the 490th Combat Support Group. Attached to the 9th and the 25th Infantry Divisions. United States Marine Corps Wreath. Corporal Dwight Hanson, U.S. Marine Corps Infantry. Desert Storm, 3rd Marine Division, 3rd Air Wing, Electronics and Communication Repair Specialist. Decorations include the Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal, National Defense Medal, Good Conduct Medal, and Expert Rifleman. The Navy Wreath. Quartermaster 3rd Class Lucky Walsh, U.S. Navy, 1959-1965. Served on destroyers in the South Pacific, the Western Pacific, and Southeast Asia, and also on the Aleutian Islands. His theater of operations were Operation Picture Window, Westpac, and the Task Force 8 nuclear testing on Johnson Island. Air Force Wreath. Airman Frank Mitchell III joined the Air Force in 1984, and partly because his father, Frank Mitchell II, served in the Army during World War II, landed in France just after D-Day. His father was in the Battle of the Bulge, receiving a Bronze Star. His great-grandfather was a United States Colored Troop Soldier, USCT, in the American Civil War, serving under Major General William Sherman during his 1864-65 march through Georgia. Coast Guard Wreath. CT-2 Don Pogler, U.S. Navy. Decorations include the Purple Heart Combat Action Ribbon and a Presidential Unit Citation. Petty Officer Pogler was a cryptologic technician aboard an intelligence-gathering ship, the USS Liberty. On the 8th of June 1967, as Israel and Egypt were at war, the ship was attacked by 2.5 hours by bombing, strafing, and torpedo boats. The terrible toll of 294 men and the crew was 34 KIA and 174 WIA, which is over 70% of the crew was either wounded or dead. The commanding officer, William Loren McGoggle of the USS Liberty, carried that ship back to safely in port after being torpedoed, and he later received the Congressional Medal of Honor. The World War I Wreath. Sergeant U.S. Marine Corps and CW-4 Army Garvin Scott Bargy. U.S. Marine Corps and U.S. Army retired, Cold War Service, National Defense Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, Army Commendation Medal, and U.S. Marine Corps Commendation Medal. Expert Marksman Badge. He was an aircraft controller of the 40th Infantry, 1st to the 18th Cavalry as a helicopter gun pilot. Active Reserve duty 64 to 2004. U.S. Marine Corps Reserve, California National Guard, and U.S. Army Reserve. World War II Wreath. Sergeant Doug Milliken, U.S. Army Infantry, December 68 to September 1970. Cambodia Invasion, Operation Binh Tay, 1 May 1970. Decorations and awards, Bronze Star with V device, Purple Heart, Air Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 3 stars, Vietnam Cross of Gallantry with palm leaf, Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal with device. Pearl Harbor Wreath. Navy Captain Tom Gorla. U.S. Navy Vietnam decorations include the Navy Commendation Medal, Navy Marine Corps Presidential Unit Citation. He served in Naval Special Warfare Group in support of Navy SEAL team operations in Da Nang with the Naval Advisory Detachment, a MACV SOG subordinate command in nasty class 80-foot PT boats, and later in the riverine operations in the Mekong Delta as officer in charge of SEAL support operations based in and from Mai To Ding Thong province, and in future active duty hours, he served department head billets in destroyers and amphibious ships and squadrons, and completed 30 years of combined active and reserve service. Spec 5 Mark Flannery, who also came earlier carrying the Army flag. Excuse me, the Coast Guard flag. He's replacing Sergeant Frank Ramirez, who was caught short this morning as he came up to be with us. Vietnam Wreath, First Lieutenant Frank Pangborn, April 1968 to April 1971, Vietnam. U.S. infantry decorations include the Bronze Star with Valor, Army Commendation with Valor, and 2 oak leaf clusters, Army Medal, Air Medal, Combat Infantry Badge, Vietnam Campaign Medal, Vietnam Cross of Gallantry, and National Defense Ribbon. Iraqi Wreath by CW2 James Grimm, who is also Vice President of the Freedom Committee of Orange County. His awards include, as a Vietnam veteran, 1968 to 69, he was a helicopter pilot and has 28 air medals. Meritorious Service Award and Vietnam Service Medal with Silver Star. Afghan Wreath, carried by Ed Bowen, Army Combat Artist in the Vietnam War, 1969. One of 46 Army combat artists selected to create the artwork to depict the Army artistically during the war. The artwork created became part of the Army's war art collection and is displayed in various government facilities, including the Pentagon and the Smithsonian. Freedom Committee Wreath, CW04 Sven Atkinson, Pleiku An K. Decoration awards include Bronze Star Medal, 18 Air Medals, Army Commendation with V Device, National Defense Medal, Army Achievement Medal, and Army Commendation with V Device. Global War on Terrorism, Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, and Master Aviator Badge. Our final wreath is the POW MIA Wreath, carried by Army Specialist Ronnie Geyer. U.S. Army Specialist and Radio Operator. Awards include the Presidential Unit Citation, 1st Air Cav, and the Purple Heart. In November of '65, he participated in the first major battle of the Vietnam War in the Valley of Death, Ai Drang. It was portrayed in Randall Wallace's motion picture titled We Are Soldiers, with Mel Gibson portraying Geyer's commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore. Ronnie was one of Moore's radio driver orderlies in Vietnam. Colonel Moore has officially been proclaimed as the best infantry battalion commander of the 20th century. In 2019, Specialist Geyer also received a TV Emmy Award for sharing his living history in the award-winning Vietnam Speaks PBS TV documentary. Gentlemen, prepare to present arms, and I'm going to dismiss you. To the wreath, present arms. Slowly. Order. Arms. Dismissed. With me is Marie Simpson. She's going to present the Gold Star Family Wreath to honor 2 members of their family who have died in combat, and on behalf of the families who have lost loved ones serving our country. Maria and Jim's son, Abraham Simpson, lost his life in Fallujah, Iraq on the 9th of November, 2004. In a terrible twist of fate, Jonathan, Abraham's cousin, who had initially wanted infantry duty, transferred from aviation duty to honor his cousin and retrained to serve as a recon Marine. Jonathan lost his life in Iraq in 2006. Marie, if you would, please.
Well, I'm honored to be here today. And, after all we've been through in this last year, last 15 months, I sincerely pray that you and your families have come through everything safely and perhaps a bit more informed on how to wash your hands and properly wear a face mask. We all stand a bit farther apart when we communicate, and it's been a little tricky at times to make out what someone is trying to say since we can't always see their face. But and I never realized how important a good, solid smile full of bright, shiny white teeth is until now, and I miss so much being able to see them. Nonetheless, here we are. We've made it this far with our stories of close calls and even some dear ones gone forever, but we are here and we remain to carry on the tradition of honoring our war dead on this Memorial Day 2021. General H.R. McMaster refers to United States service members as warriors and humanitarians because they engage against enemies that are a threat to all civilized people. Though we are not together physically today, in spirit we are one as we remember the sacrifice of our fallen warriors and humanitarians, and we must continue to do it if we are to hold on to the freedoms that our brave men and women have secured for us. I'd like to read 3 poems that I feel bring meaning and reverence to our observance today, as well as hope for the future. The first was written in 1915 by a Canadian physician named John McCrae, who enlisted in the Canadian contingent of the British Expeditionary Force at the beginning of World War I. He was inspired to write the following words while serving as a medical officer during the Second Battle of Ypres. It is entitled In Flanders Fields and goes like this. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, we felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. As a result of this well-received poem, red poppies became a symbol of remembering our precious war dead. Life is the greatest gift that we can possibly give, and if we are called upon to give it, it is also the last gift that we will ever give. And is it worth it? In my heart, I find that this next poem speaks profoundly to this question. It was written in 1940 by Archibald MacLeish, who was also a veteran of the First World War. He was first an ambulance driver and then an artillery officer in the Second Battle of the Marne. His brother Kenneth MacLeish was killed in action during the war. The poem is entitled, The Young Dead Soldiers Do Not Speak, and it goes like this. Thank you. The young dead soldiers do not speak. Nevertheless, they are heard in the still houses. Who has not heard them? They have a silence that speaks for them at night and when the clock counts. They say, we were young, we have died. Remember us. They say, we have done what we could, but until it is finished, it is not done. They say, we have given our lives, but until it is finished, no one can know what our lives gave. They say, our deaths are not ours. They are yours. They will mean what you make them. They say, whether our lives and our deaths were for peace and a new hope, or for nothing, we cannot say. It is you who must say this. They say, we leave you our deaths. Give them their meaning. We were young, they say. We have died. Remember us. As a Gold Star mother, the absence of my son Abraham at our table throughout the years reminds my family by its silence that there is a cost to our freedom, a sacrifice that continues to be made by the few that still step up to serve today. I like what Russell Crowe's character Maximus says in the movie Gladiator. What we do in life echoes in eternity. I believe it is true. I believe all of our choices matter in this life and the next. The last poem that I will read is my own. It is my reflection on my son's service and sacrifice. I wrote it on Memorial Day in 2006. Thanks. Remembering Abe, my baby, my child, my son. You first made me a mother, forever so. To God I gave you back. You were never mine to keep, though so close to my heart. You grew up and away with time, and it was right, further from me and closer to Jesus. Independent before him, you let us in on your choices, but you made them alone before God. Confident before him, it was you and God that chose your path, you and God that accepted and bore the consequences of those choices without regret. You were a man before him and before us, and he made you so beautiful. And then your time became complete. Your days were finished here and continued there. By the choice of one to do evil, you were sent abruptly away from this earth to return only in glory one day beside your King. And even now you see his face before you, and you join with angels in worship because of the pact God makes with the souls who bow before him. Our hope is true. Your hope is now realized. And here we camp at the edge of eternity as we long to see what you see, and we will. To use a phrase from a song by Stephen Curtis Chapman, our lives were made for these years. In this lifetime, we will do well to live well, to honor the sacrifice of the warriors and humanitarians that made this lifetime possible for us. Thanks for listening, watching, honoring, and remembering. And may God bless you today, Memorial Day 2021.
Or arms. Half, Roy. Face. Ready. And fire. And fire. And fire. Half left. Face. Release and arms.
I am the daughter of Sergeant Eddie Shervoni, killed in action May 5th, 1968, on Landing Zone Peanuts. He served with Alpha Battery, 1st Battalion, 77th Field Artillery, 1st Cavalry Division. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet